Hello, welcome to DIY is my happy place. I'm Amy, and today we're going to do 5 different gnome DIYs from Dollar Tree Supplies. So, let's have some fun. Every once in a while, I'll go into the Dollar Tree and I'll hit the jackpot. And I actually found these 3 gnomes already made, and I was like, I gotta have these. But of course, I've got to take them up another notch. So if you're lucky enough to find some gnomes pre-made at the Dollar Tree, let me show you what you can do. I love these gnomes because they have a weighted bottom and it's a cotton top. And it's similar to how I make my no-sew gnomes, and I've done hundreds of them over the past year or so. And so let me show you what it's like if you have one that's already pre-made. The first thing I'm going to do is take this beard off because I actually like to have girl gnomes. I'm going to have 1 boy gnome, but 2 girl gnomes. So I'm going to take the beard off, and this is made with felt. So I'm just kind of peeling this away. I can cut it away. I don't want to cut the felt at all. So I'm just going to trim off any of the beard that sticks out, but I'm not worrying about that line of glue that's left because I am going to put something in front of that. Now I'm going to keep this fur because I keep all my little embellishments because I may use it later on. See how there's cotton inside there? I always keep things from one gnome project to the next because even some of these little tiny embellishments I can use in a different place somewhere else. And actually, the gnomes that I'm doing today, I'm creating the fun embellishments from things that I have left over from previous gnomes that I've made. All of my supplies, with only a couple of exceptions, are using Dollar Tree treasures. Now, this yarn is one of the examples of something that I was not able to get at the Dollar Tree. I can put a link below if you want to order some on Amazon, or you can pick this puffy, yummy yarn up at Walmart. Now, I'm going to take 3 strands and braid it very loosely because I want it to be a very fat braid. And I got 1 thing of this yarn, and I used it for these ornament decor. I've used it for so many different things. So this is an example of how you just get a few gnome supplies and you can use the same things over and over and over. I will say pipe cleaners are your friends when you're doing gnomes because it's just so nice. You can use them for the little ties at the bottom. And then the other thing that I have used so much is foam, particularly glitter foam. I bought a bunch of different colors when I was making my gnome shoes, and now I have leftover pieces, and I will just use every little piece, even sometimes little tiny pieces that you cut off. Like right now I'm going to be making a heart, and the little pieces that I cut off can be little tiny hearts. I mean, I use almost everything. I have to keep my husband away from this because he sees things as trash, where I'm like, no, it's a treasure. I can still use that. And I just put it all into a little Rubbermaid box, and I just use it from one little piece to the next. I can find a treasure in almost everything. Okay, now I'm just going to glue my heart right onto the front of my gnome body, and that will cover up that glue spot and give her a lot more pizzazz. Okay, now for my braids, I'm going to add a couple more pipe cleaners so that I can separate these. And rather than making 2 braids, it's a lot easier to make 1 long braid, then add some pipe cleaner to both sides, and then the last thing you do is cut it in half. Now I'm using a white pipe cleaner on this, but I really wouldn't need to. It could be any color because it's going to be tucked up underneath the hat and you won't even see it. So really any color of pipe cleaner, but I definitely like the silver pipe cleaner on the bottom to use as my little hair attachment that will show. So I hope that makes sense. So the white one won't show because it's tucked up under, and where I'm going to use my glue, give it a little bit of glue up in there. And then once you get your braids in place, then you do want to glue the hat down so that it forms around the gnome nose. And then look, we're in business. Okay, now I have some of these stickers. I always have these stickers. I use them for so many different gnomes and other crafts, really. I love them. Now, whenever you're using these on anything that has fabric or fur, you definitely want to add some extra hot glue because they will kind of pop off and eventually kind of peel off. And the one thing that I do like to do is make sure that I have glue everywhere so that this gnome is not going to fall apart later on. So I go ahead and put the stickers on, then I go back and put up underneath some glue. Now I definitely prefer this Gorilla glue gun because it has a fine tip and it gives me a lot more, I'm able to get right exactly where I want, and also it doesn't sit there and drip out. And so that's why I love it. And it's no more expensive than any other one. And I'll put a link below. I like to put, everybody keeps asking me where I get things. So I go ahead and put links below to give you more information on my other tutorials and also on some of the products that I buy. Anything that's not from the Dollar Tree. Okay. Now she's really starting to be jazzed up. I love glitter and I love glam, I guess. So to me, a gnome needs a little glitter and a little glam. Now, since I'm making 3 gnomes, I'm going to make it so the hat, on 2 of them, they tip over to the right, 1 tips to the left, and 1 kind of tips forward. Now I have some felt that I have left over from my gnome shoe tutorial. I have a couple of tutorials, one with glitter and one with felt. And again, just save it up and I will use it too. And so I want to add more layers so that I can really have this cute little gnome look a lot more fancy. And then there's silver hearts. Now, as you can see, I'm not even using any kind of a template. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And if it's too big, I'll cut it down and keep on going. All right, there she is. She's coming really together. Now, I had this wand that I got from the toy section of the Dollar Tree, and I thought it was really cute, and it would make a really great staff for a gnome. But I just, it's pretty glittery, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to add a few more little pieces of gems. Now, these gems I did not get from the Dollar Tree. I got them, I think, about for $7, maybe at Hobby Lobby or Walmart. And the same container of gems I've used for probably 5 years. Like, one container goes a long way. And then I'll add some more gems right to the top of her hat. And now look at this. She's coming together. I think even her belly needs a gem because everything looks better with some sparkle. What do you think? Do you like it when your gnomes have sparkles? Comment below and let me know your thoughts. And I love to hear from you all. Now, I definitely do recommend that you glue everything down so there's no chance that it's going to look sloppy or whatever. You just have everything glued right into position. Now, this has these little felt shoes, feet, and they're kind of cute. And because this will sit up on its own because of the beans in the bottom, it doesn't need anything real fancy for the shoes. But I want to jazz them up a little bit more and add some glitter. So I'm going to make her shoes glittery. Now I'm just going to cut it and glue it right on there. And then nothing real fancy. Now I've gone all out with shoes, as the tutorials show. Or sometimes you just can be simple like this. And then I'm going to get me some black foam. And that's the one thing that I've noticed is anytime you're doing anything, if you pay attention to the edges, it's nice to add a little black edge. And once it's done, you don't really notice the black edge, but you just notice if it's not there. But then it just looks like the sole of a shoe or the trim around a real shoe. So that's my little tip for the day. All right, and once again, if you have those fine tip glue gun, then you can do these little tiny pieces of glue and it works great. So here is my before and after transformation. What do you think? Give me a thumbs up if you think that turned out great. Okay, now let's go on to my second gnome. This gnome transformation is going to go pretty quick because I'm going to leave the beard on this one, my middle gnome. I'm going to have them so they can be 3 in a row, and the middle one will be a male with his beard. I love these palms that they have in the Crafter's Square section of Dollar Tree. They're kind of like great big cotton balls, and that works great for the tip of the hat to add a little pizzazz. So I'm just going to glue that palm right onto the tip. And then I'll add just a little smidgen of glue so that this will hang down. Now they can stand straight up. This is really whatever your personal preference, but I kind of like them when they tip over just a little bit. So I'm just going to tip it kind of to the front. Now I have some of these silver glitter leaves, and I love them. So I'm just going to add 3. The rule of thumb is you kind of want to try to do things in odd numbers whenever you're doing anything floral. And I guess really I kind of like it that way with crafts. So I'm going to use 3 silver leaves. Now I have some of this speckled ribbon left over from my Christmas ornaments that I made. And I'm going to use this to make kind of a little embellishment on the front. I'm just going to gather it together, and then once again I'll use my handy dandy paper clip to piece it together, trim it down, and it'll make kind of like a white floral flower on that I can put on the top of this hat, or on the front end of this hat. So I really just can keep on sizing it down till it's the right size. So all I'm going to do is get a pipe cleaner, wrap it around, and then tie it off so it'll hold its shape, and then I can trim the pipe cleaner down and glue the entire thing right onto the hat. And as you can see, this one is going fast and easy. And I'm not going to have him hold a sign because I'm going to have signs with the other 2. So he's going to be kind of like my center gnome. Now, the one thing that I do recommend is whenever you're doing anything with fur is go ahead and brush it out. And if it's got little dents in it, you can spritz it a little bit with some hairspray and style it. Okay, now back to some glitter shoes because he does need a little bit of glam. You can measure the foam off to the size of the shoe, or in this case, I went ahead and just randomly cut 2 pieces out quite a bit bigger than the felt for the foot, and I'm gluing that on, and then I'll come back and trim the foam down to the size of the felt. You can do it either way. So whatever works better for you. And now I'll just do my second one, and this one is just so cute. I was thinking I could put a buckle on the top or something that looked like laces, or really it can be just left just like that. You can either trim it off or leave it like that. So here we go. Before and after. Now let's do gnome number 3. I would say, if you don't mind, if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe and ring the bell so you can be notified when I put up new content. Okay, now this one also is going to be a girl. So once again, I'm going to take my beard off and save that fur for a different project. Now you may see in the background I've got my DIY is my happy place water cup that's kind of like a Stanley cup. It works so great. It keeps everything cold or hot for an entire day. I love it so much. And I will put a link below for merchandise if you're interested in that. Little self-promotion goes a long way, right? But really the main thing is if you just hit the like and subscribe, then I will keep on putting up more content. And I do like to put a video up every single week. Now I love these gnomes, and I know they're looking very much like Valentine gnomes, and they are perfect for Valentine's Day. You can give them for a Galentine's Day present, or really for fun decor for your friends or for yourself. Or really, when it's hearts and pink and red, I love it year round. I actually will keep these up throughout a lot of different seasons. All right, now once again, see how this little tiny piece of glitter foam could have very easily been thrown in the trash, as what would you do with that little tiny piece? But not me. I'm going to save that. Okay, now my curly hair. Since I'm using all products from previous gnomes that I've done, there's a lot of different tutorials, and this curly hair is so wonderful. You can make it from yarn that you pick up from the Dollar Tree, and there's going to be quite a few links below today, but I'll show you exactly how to make this. I made this previously, and I love to make things. Whenever I'm making something, I make them in bulk, like 10 versions of things, so that I have it for my next project. It's already ready. Okay, so I'm going to glue that curly hair right up under the hat. Now look how different this gnome is going to look, just because I'm adding some fun curly hair. Now don't panic about that glue that you see on her belly, because again, I'm going to fix that too. And look it's just so easy to give her a little trim, and then voila, hair is in position. Okay, now I just got to move that hair out of the way, and I'll glue my hearts. See how easy these are, and they all kind of tie together. And I love to do this with whatever holiday. Let's say I am going to do a holiday, then I might do a shamrock, or I might do a flag, or I might do, you can just tie these in according to what color or what season you're in. And I got to have a layer of glitter because, of course, glitter is my favorite color. And then a layer of red, and she's just coming together nice and fast. I cannot believe I'm going to be able to get 3 gnomes done this quickly. It is a great way to go. Now, these pom-poms, I do have, just like the rest, a tutorial for this. I always make my own pom-poms, and in fact, right now I'm working on a pom-pom rug. That video should be up in the next 2 weeks or so, and an entire rug made from pom-poms. I love them. Okay, now we need just a little bit more pizzazz. This gemstone is actually one that I got from Walmart. So that is one thing that's not from the Dollar Tree, but this domino game I did get from the Dollar Tree, and I thought, those little dominoes would make the perfect size for my signs. Now you can buy in the Crafter Square section these chalkboard signs, but they cost between, you usually get about 4 or sometimes 6 in a package. But if you use the dominoes, you're getting, I don't know how many, maybe 100 in a package. And so I'm going to layer them 3 layers thick, so it's a little bit wider, but it's almost like it's bamboo wood or something. It's very lightweight, so it's not going to weigh down with the sign. So I'm just going to, I want it to be completely white. So I'm just using a regular piece of copy paper, and I'll glue that right down to the board and then cut the copy paper. And then I can take my printout that I have and glue it right over the top. And this is yet another thing that I'll put in the link below, because I have already created a bunch of gnome quotes. And so you can just go to my blog and print them out. They're free. You can print them out and then size them to whatever size you want and create your own gnome quotes from what I've already made. And I have all different kinds. I have gnome quotes that tie in with different holidays, or, I mean, you name it. I've done a lot of gnome quotes over the years. Okay, now that I have my 2, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 more domino to the back. I'll just glue on some pink to the back of that. Let me finish this trim. The one thing that I love are these makeup spatulas. You get them in the makeup section at the Dollar Tree, and they have silicone on the end, and it works so great. Even though I have this really fine tipped hot glue gun, every once in a while you'll still get some hot glue over the edge where you don't want it. And so if I have that silicone, I can hurry and wipe it off, and then it keeps it nice and clean and tidy. So there we go. Okay, now for that third piece, I just glue it straight to the foam, the pink foam, and then I'll glue that third domino right to the back. And now we have a nice, thick, very fun looking sign. Now I'm going to add a trim around the edge. I've got some of this left over from my Christmas garland that I made. And again, this is from the Dollar Tree. And it's kind of got some stars and sparkly things on it. It's got wire in the center. So I'm just going to glue this onto the outer edge of this cute little angel sign. After I get it glued on, I realize I kind of glued it close, so I have to trim off the edges. And now it's ready for a stand. Now I love using the yard balloon sticks. I've used them for so many different gnomes over the years, and they have little attachments that attach my shoes to the stick, but sometimes I have sticks left over, so I use them for other signs. And so all you have to do is glue that plastic balloon straw right to the sign. Now, sometimes the Dollar Tree gets sold out of these, so you do have to kind of just watch. If you're like me, if I'm in the Dollar Tree and I see them, I grab them. I always make sure I have a couple of packages because I use them on so many things. And then once again, leftover stickers. These pink pearl stickers I've used for a lot of different things. Most recently on my home sign for my Valentine decor. And just like any stickers, you do want to use hot glue. It's still worth it because they get spaced exactly the amount of distance that you want. And you don't have to glue it everywhere, just every inch and a half or so. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and glue one more glitter bomb right onto the top of my hat. And look at how cute she is. She is just coming together. And then a little gem right in the center there. Look at that. Fast, easy, and awesome. I'm really loving her. Here's our before. And look at the after. Total transformation. Okay, now let's see them all together. Angels can't be everywhere. That's why God gave us friends. I love that quote. So here we go. They look so cute. And when you start with the pre-made gnomes from the Dollar Tree, voila. Now, while I was there, I actually saw this cute little Dollar Tree sign. That's a Valentine sign, and it is darling. And it already has like glittery beards, which I love. But I just thought, I want to make it a little more three-dimensional, and I'll add just a little extra pizzazz with my scraps that I have left over and just take it up another notch. Now, this one is a little bit hard to be able to really grasp the difference of how it looks on the video because I don't know, you just can't really see the dimensions of it as well. But basically, I just took some of my foam and added some glitter noses, and it makes it so they stand out a little bit more, so it's not just such a flat surface. And since I already had my glitter foam out, the only thing I needed to add to it was some glitter balls. So you'll see that in just a minute. So I'm just going to use red noses, put them on all three gnomes, glue them down. This one can be done in just a couple of minutes. It's so fast. Now I have some striped gems that I'm going to give a little pizzazz to my X's. And then it's just, you just peel off the back, put them on. These you do not have to use hot glue on because when it's being glued directly to a board, they'll stick really good to that. It's just fabric when you have to have extra hot glue. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I love the glitter vase fillers, and I use those balls for gnome noses, gnome hands, gnome feet, gnome. All types of embellishments for gnomes. I don't know that I've ever used them in a jar. I probably have. But I'm just going to cut them in half and add some right to the center of the hearts to help those hearts to pop. And there you go. This one's really it's just a matter of minutes, and this one will be done. I was noticing that the O's needed some more jazz, so I added bigger glitter balls for that. And then on the mirrors, the pink just wasn't popping as much as it could. So taking the exact same shapes that are already there, went ahead and added some pink glitter foam. And look at that. And now I just need to add a few gems around the hearts on the bottom and a few more foam balls. And that's all there is to it. There was one other thing that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and it was some beads that were kind of garland. And I just couldn't figure out, what am I going to use those for? I don't know, but I love them. And then this is the perfect place. I'm just going to glue that garland right to the string of what would be the string of the XOs. And these, again, they don't show up very good in this video, but it looks really cool hanging in my house. I love it. And so there you go. You have the before. Again, doesn't show up very well, but it was a lot of fun and easy to do. All right, now I have one last gnome project, and this one doesn't take any work on your side. Just grab some of these cute gnome socks. They have gnome skirt at the Dollar Tree, and they even had gnome gift bags, like loot bags. And I thought, yeah, this is the perfect thing, and this doesn't take any crafting at all. All you do is get your loot bag, add a pair of socks, add a scarf, put them in the bag, take them to your bestie. Wasn't that a blast? See? It doesn't have to take a long time, and it is awesome when you can use Dollar Tree supplies. So don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell, and I will see you again soon. See ya!